Hello everybody, good evening. Fan Man Steve here once again. It is Friday, April the 29th, and we are going to be closing out the fourth month of the year by doing a video of a clean and service. I'm pretty sure that you all remember this. I've made at least several videos of it already, but the reason for the video tonight is that you all know that I have a new tripod now. That was the last video that I made, and if you had seen it, and I've learned how to use it, and this is it's really going to be a big help for me now. It's going to be better, shooting my videos, having a better range, also capturing better footage of me doing my work. If I'm working on my fans or if I'm doing a restoration, it's easier to see everything. So we're going to do our first video with that tonight. But anyhow, this is my old wizard here, as you all know, and we're gonna give it a good oiling tonight. We're gonna give it a good cleaning. We're gonna give it a good service, and I'm gonna make a video of basically just me taking the thing apart, cleaning the motor out, lubricating it with some oil, and we'll put it back together. And we'll do a demonstration. But anyhow, this is one of the fans that I've been using more often here lately, and since it's warmed up, I had even been using it, even before spring. But anyhow, we're gonna run the fan here, and we're gonna see how the fan runs, and we're just gonna see the spin down, and then we're gonna take it out. I'm gonna take it out to the shop, and then I'll disassemble it, and I'll take the motor out, and I'll give it a good cleaning, and then I'm gonna show a demonstration of the clean and service. So we're gonna go ahead and let's go ahead and fire the fan up now. We'll watch it run. Okay. Here it is. Turn it up here on the high speed. Okay, the fan started right up. Haven't noticed anything unusual. It just has a slower time starting up. When you turn it off, it comes to a stop rather more quickly than usual. Actually, it really wasn't all that long ago since I cleaned this last. I just don't think that I've been using the right kind of oil, and that's why I wanted to make this video tonight. Okay, let's drop it down to low. Technically, this is the medium speed. It sort of runs at a slower pace than even on low. I mean, the motor doesn't get excessively hot right away. I mean, it warms up, but not to the point to where, to where it really gets that serious. It doesn't put out a burning smell or anything like that. There's nothing wrong with the motor. I mean, the motor is perfectly healthy. We're just going to give the fan a good oil and cleaning, and I'm going to show you the oil that I got tonight. Okay, let's go ahead and turn it back up to high. fire it off, turn it off. Okay, so you see how the spin down is a bit. Okay, so now what we're going to do is that I'm going to take the fan off of the stand and I'm going to take it out into the shop, and we are going to do a cleaning service, and then we will see how it plays after that. Okay, everybody, I've got the fan out here in the garage, and I've got the phone on my tripod now. See if I can get it adjusted here to where I can get a good view of it. Right there. Okay, perfect. Okay, so now I have the fan here in the garage. We're going to give it a good cleaning and service. You can also see that I have a much better lighting in here now. I've got an old lamp that I found where it's easier to see everything. So I guess this is a big improvement on my recording here. I've got my little container to put my screws in, and these are the paper towels for cleaning and whatnot. It's just going to get a little messy. Sit it over here. So the next step that we have to do is getting the blade removed, and I do believe this takes a 1/32 set screw. Blades really don't appear to be all that dirty, so I'll just swipe it down with a rag or something. I just think it's more in need of an oiling than anything else. There's that Westinghouse motor. You can see there's not a whole lot of resistance there. Okay. I'm going to use a 1332 to get the 4 nuts here holding that has the motor mounted onto the back here. So I think I can just handle some of these. It really doesn't take much to get these removed. these little nuts too. They have the little, if you can see it, they have the little serrated edges on them. I think that is to prevent the nut from coming loose as it vibrates. Okay. I'm not going to take the motor completely out since this is just going to be a service. It's situated here. Now I'll face it this way. Make sure there's nothing under here. Okay, now I think we're in business. Alright, there we go. Now we've got a good shot at everything. So now, what we have to do is getting the links and the bolts here removed. And I think that we're going to do it with, we'll do it like this. How this is going to turn out. Okay. I think that'll work. It's optional, but put the bolt, the washer back on the lint. Just lay it in the tray to where you don't lose it. Flip the motor over. Same thing. Just so that you know that these are not original. These came out of my old Dominion table fan. The original bolts and washers to this were stripped out, worn out. So one of these days, I can, whenever I get around to it, I'll get get better replacements for this. Okay, wonderful. Motor back. Remove front housing. Here's the inside there, and there is the variant of the oil wick and whatnot. Has the original fabric inside, and that's the little washer. And there's the front. These are basically press fits, so I'm not exactly sure if these could actually be removed. Okay, here is the rotor shaft. Take that out. Yep. You look there on the side there, it does show signs of scoring and whatnot. It's a little smudge, and that's not healthy on these bearings. I wasn't using the right kind of oil for this motor, and I think that's the reason it was starting to slop up a bit more like this. Some little fiber washers to it. Go ahead. these over here. Okay. So basically, what we have to do is just clean off the shaft. Go ahead and I'll get that off. I'll know which ones are what. I think there's another way that you can do this. You can just, I'm not exactly sure if it's the right thing to do to clean these down with soap and water, but basically how I've been doing it for all the time that I've had this thing, or any of my other fans for that matter, is basically just cleaning it down with an SOS soap pad. It works pretty good. It removes all the grease and the sludge and whatnot. Gives it a smoother surface. Okay, now the front bearing is clean. And we're going to put that to the side. I guess the next thing that we have to do is clean out the bearings. You can do it with Q-tips, or you can do it with a pipe cleaner, like I've seen in a few other videos, but this is basically my way of doing it. Just take and roll up a piece of paper towel, just stick it down in there. Don't do anything to where you're going to damage the washer or anything. I really don't have the patience to get that out right now. Take a screwdriver and force it down in there. Just clean it and do it like this, like so. Yep, those bearings were pretty daggum dirty. Take another piece. Repeat the same procedure. So be careful. Try not to hit those windings too. Definitely don't want to take the chances of messing those up. Okay. Now we will do the same for the front bearing. Just stick it in there. The next cleaning service that I do, I'll do it with Q-tips next time, because the motor should be a bit smaller. I guess I'll just use the same one here. Take that screwdriver and just force it through. Don't do anything to damage the bearing. Okay, now a piece of the bearing just came out. Not good. Okay, here we go. Lay that down. Windings really don't appear to be all that dirty, but if need be, just, okay, I'll just flip this over. dirty here on the back, so this is my way of doing it. Take a soft toothbrush like this and very carefully just knock off as many dust as you can off of the windings. Trying not to damage the Kapton tape or the wiring or the windings itself. Okay, hopefully y'all can see that. As you can see, there's one piece of the Kapton tape here that is missing. And you need to do something to repair that. Those are very important. Just keep knocking that dust off. Something else to do too if you're more in a hurry. Just take an old paintbrush. Just very carefully knock it off. Being very careful not to damage the bearings. I'll charge up the air compressor and clean it out a little bit more tomorrow. I really don't have the time to do it tonight. I'm tired. Haven't gotten a whole lot of sleep. This is just a cleaning service. You can see there's still some dirt there in between the winding there. I think it should be fine. Okay. Dirt from the motor housing. Carefully put the stator back in, make sure that it's lining up with the holes to where you're ready to put it back together. We have some zoom spout oil here, and I got this just the other night. They had it in stock up at Walmart, and from other videos that I had seen and from what I've been told, there's different types of oil. There's the non-detergent, and then there's the detergent. I don't think that you want to use the detergent oil with the fans. There's different kinds that are used with lawnmowers and bicycles, and this was used for, basically all this says that this is any useful for is sewing machines, but it doesn't say anywhere on the bottle if it has detergent. So it also has the tube that you pull out to make it easier to oil everything. So let's go ahead and remove the tip here. Take that off, put it to the side. Put it to where you can see everything. Want to get it in between the bearing there. Go all the way around. Very carefully. Not to get anything on the windings or inside the motor where it doesn't need to be. And if necessary, just apply a few drops there into the bottom of the bearing. Repeat the same for front bearing here. I'll just put that to where you can see it. Okay. Flip it over. Same thing. Now we'll get the fiber washers here cleaned. Just clean them with an old paper towel or a rag or whatever it is that you may have on you. Whatever works. Fiber washers are very important. You don't want to lose these. These are to keep the fan from going ka-thump when you turn it on and off. And I think that is to protect the bearings and as well as the shaft. Set that down. Like this other one here. One here, a little dirty, down. Okay, so I know that the two biggest ones here go on the back, so I'll apply a little bit of oil here to the bottom of to the back shaft. Okay, now slide fiber washers back on. Have a good spin down. Okay. Now we'll apply a little bit of oil here to the front. It's also very important that you do this. That way, this will maintain the lubrication. You know, if dirt or anything gets into it, even if you forget to clean out the front bearing, and I know that's exactly what you're supposed to do. Also, to where it's easier to put the blade back on, getting it off. These two guys back on. Sure that the motor is lining up in the right orientation. Clean that back a little bit. Put the bolts back in. Sure that everything is in alignment. The best way that you know how you're doing is that you see these here, the vents. If you see these lining up, and you have to just see it. If you see it lining up properly, it's proper alignment. That means that you're doing good. The other went back in. Okay, everybody, I had to stop that for a minute. I was sort of in a hurry. Sometimes these bolts can be a little difficult to put back on. struggle much with it. But anyhow, as you're putting the nuts and bolts back together, you want to make sure that everything is equally tight. That way everything is lining up and the rotor shaft is not going to work against the motor. So pretty much good to go here. Okay everybody, now I've got the motor mounted back on. I guess the next thing I need to do here is, it was a little dirty on the inside. It really wasn't all that bad, but I just take me a brush here and just clean out the inside here really good. Got some bugs and stuff here on the bottom. Just take the nut down. And the same thing with the grills. Really don't look like they're all that dirty, so I think they're fine. Key to these older vintage fans like this is maintenance. It lasts longer the more you care for them. People just use these old fans and they just lock up due to tear and lack of lubrication, and they're just tossed out over the street. You see a fan like this, even if it's well over 80 to 90 years old, pick it up because they're repairable. You can make them work again. Just exactly as I did with this one. Resistance to the motor looks to be very good if you can see it. Okay, so now we are going to plug it in and we're going to test it. Okay, fan is plugged in. Alright. Not bad. There's no bearing noise. It's low speed. Okay, awesome. Great. That's to get it in better alignment there. So I guess the last thing that we have to do is to put the blade back on and test it. I'll just take this old brush here and I'll just wipe that off. There's really not that much to it, so no need to show it in the camera. Back here clean. Back here actually looks to be very clean, so. Okay. Do the same thing in reverse. You want to make sure that the blade is lining up with the flat part on the shaft. Take your Allen head screwdriver here. You don't want to get it too tight, but you don't want to. You want to make sure that that thing is not going to fly off either when you turn it back on. I like to get a good snug. Okay. Spin it by hand. Okay, wonderful. Now we can get the front grille put back on and we'll give it a test run. Okay everybody, now we have the fan mounted back on the stand here. The fan has been cleaned and properly serviced and oiled. We're going to start the fan up now, and we're going to see if the fan has improved. Okay, here we go. Here's the high speed. Let's get this adjusted here. Okay. You can see from where I have the camera, it's putting out a good breeze because it's blowing the camera back. Medium sounds a bit better. It sounds like it's not as sluggish. Let's pick it back up to high. I have the fan tilted back. Let that oil work its way into the bearings there. Big improvement. Motor doesn't heat up right away. Speeds seem like they're a little bit more speedier. Okay, let's go ahead and turn it off. And we shall see those heavy metal blades spin down. Okay, wonderful. It's a little bit better, but I'll give it about a day or two before the oil starts to work its way in, and in that process, the spin down should be a bit longer. Well, there you go, everybody. There is a video of a cleaning service of my old Wizard box fan here. First video that I've made with my tripod, so you've seen my work and you've seen how it works. More videos to come. Please like, subscribe, and comment, and more videos to come. Definitely in service videos like this. Well, I'm out, everybody. Good night.